baby, real talk.
Testing.
It's all good. So I want to jump straight into the thing that I want to ask about you, because you are famous for being a farmer, like a really manly farmer. That's what I think. But you also like so into personal development, like, and I think that's just something that's really interesting to you. How are men going the right way? Are men becoming less manly?
I mean, I would say in general we're going the wrong way, and we are becoming less masculine, and that's a problem. That's a major problem.
Like what? Like how are men becoming less masculine?
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of ways, and I think it is mostly caused by this unfortunate situation we're in, where the government and the legal system artificially empowers members of society.
Whoa, this is happening quickly. One sec. This is good. Okay, I just got nervous about some technical stuff. Hang on. Whoa. The government's doing what?
Artificially empowering members of society.
I thought you were going to say artificially inseminating. I got cows on the brain because, hey, let me do an intro. Today I got my friend and comedian Nic Vines. I feel like there's an applause missing there, but there's only the cameras, but you with us in spirit. They're doing what? Artificially... No, it's not inseminating. You said something else.
Artificially empowering.
Artificially empowering who?
Different members of society.
Who?
Women.
They're artificially empowering women.
Yeah.
Okay, so this sounds controversial talk, but let's give them some space, because I listened to something else that had that was someone was saying the same thing, and I can't remember what it was. Artificially empowering women. How?
Well, I think through divorce laws and...
Whoa, you're throwing some curveballs. Far out. Hey, you might not get some arguments from me. But like, because I fucking lost all my money in a divorce.
Yeah.
All of it, like, and a lot. So okay, so so divorce laws. Have you been divorced?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you been married?
I have not.
No, I didn't think so. Do you want to get married? Not to me.
Damn, I thought I was in.
Whoa. Well, you got some low standards.
No, I've just seen the devastating effect that divorce has had on so many people. And it's not right that somebody, like, okay, the way the laws are written, they are done in a way that favors the person who doesn't make money in the relationship.
Uh-huh.
Which,
yeah, that was my ex-wife.
yeah, and that generally it favors women because they're the ones that are not working the jobs that make the most money. So, I mean, I know it can happen to women too, where they are the ones that are the primary earners.
Yep.
And they can get divorced, and then their husband can take quite a lot away from them. Mm-hmm. So it does affect both men and women, but the vast majority of the time it has a negative impact on men because they're the ones that are generally earning money in the relationship. And as far as I'm concerned, if you are receiving provision from your partner while you're in a relationship, I don't think you're entitled to it once that relationship ends.
If you... Oh, yeah, no, you're not.
But according to the law, you are.
Yeah, fuck that, man.
So, I mean, it can happen to women too, where
you're right, because you are legally entitled. The law gives you that entitlement.
Yeah, and I don't think that's right.
No.
Yeah, and I think because of that, men are always in a situation, well, okay, generally speaking, men are always in a situation when they're in a relationship that they have got this threat looming over them that if their partner is not happy, the partner can leave and leave that person in financial ruin for the rest of their life.
They can
And
leave.
that creates an imbalance in the power structure of a relationship, which leaves women largely very unsatisfied in their relationships because they don't want somebody who is weak and under thumb. They might say they do, but they're not happy with that because the world is a scary place. So they want someone strong next to them to face the world on their behalf or alongside them. And it's very hard for a man to do that if he's in a disempowered position from day one.
Do you watch Psych Hacks?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Okay, just so I just referred to a podcast that nobody knows who it is, but just give it a quick Google. So I think that you would like this because there's a guy talks about all these kinds of topics and has a similar point of view. This is really wild because you are describing me. I'm already on your side, but people are going to be yelling at us from home. I can hear them already. So I'm going to play devil's advocate too, but just like, wow, because you just described my situation. So personally, I'm just going to relate to what you're saying personally, because I had nothing. I got married. I was the one that worked. I started a business. From the time I got married to basically the end of the relationship in 6 years, I went from zero to saving $1 million because I worked hard and was successful at the business, and I didn't spend any of the money. I just saved it all. And then when I got a divorce, I actually couldn't bring myself emotionally to go to the legal stuff. My ex-wife said, I want to have everything. And so the court gave her everything because that's what she said she wanted. That's some big, thanks, man. Thank you. I don't often get to tell that story to someone who I know will validate my experience of that.
Yeah.
And so big feelings for me. So
Yeah.
so I get it, man. But what about, so devil's advocate, because I want to speak for everyone, and this is interesting. So you said that that they're not entitled to maybe as much money, or they're not entitled to, what's that thing they call it? They have a word for it in America.
Alimony.
Alimony.
Yeah.
What about, because she was staying home and supporting you, and you never know. So this is the argument against it, right? That people might say. And that if the roles were reversed, or she hadn't been supporting you, that you have no right to say, in my case, because my feeling is, well, the things I brought to making of that money was my intelligence, which I own, and hard work, which I did.
Yeah.
So someone else is not entitled to that because she didn't do it. And how can you say would have earned as much money as I did? But on the other hand, is it, so someone else might say, is it fair to prejudge her that she might not have done as well or as better if she was the money earner or on her own? So should she come out of that 6-year period penalised or worse off? What do you think?
I think she was an adult who made an adult decision on how she was going to live her life. And if she doesn't like the consequences of those choices, she should have made better choices.
That's a good point, because that's what people say to us as well.
Yeah.
That's what people say to men when you lost everything. Well, you were adult. Yeah, you know what kind of adult I was? I was like kind of a desperate 22-year-old who got excited when a pretty girl said that she would have sex with him.
Yeah.
Right? Got married, signed a contract.
Yeah.
And then worked hard and then lost all that money you earned over that period. Well, you're an adult. yeah, not really the same person anymore. But anyway, we got to suck that up apparently too.
Yeah.
So
Like, how bizarre is it that we live in a society where there is no option for someone to say, hey, I want to be in a relationship that does not involve the government or the legal system unless an actual crime has been committed?
I don't want to. Hang on one more time because that's confusing me.
Okay. An adult can't get into a relationship
Yeah.
in this country
Yeah.
and say, hey, I don't want the legal system or the government involved
Oh, yeah.
unless a crime has been
Fuck,
committed.
that's weird. So I am scared. They don't get because for real, I'm scared to get in. There's no kind of safe relationship actually that's safe.
No, you can even not be married and still be considered in a de facto relationship, which still leaves you open to basically the same thing, a divorce, where you can lose half of everything you own or more. And it's like, well, hang on, I never signed a contract for this. She just stayed at my house a couple of times a week, left a toothbrush there, and then now suddenly she's entitled to half my house.
Yeah. Why is this a hot topic for you?
Because I've seen so many like friends and family members suffer horribly in relationships, and their only avenue of escape is divorce, which sends them into financial ruin for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
I've seen so many men in joyless, loveless, sexless relationships with no means of escape short of financial ruin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane to me.
You said ruining, and you said ruining before, and it is like a ruining. Like my story I told you about, it is kind of like devastating to a person's life.
Yeah.
Loss of the money, like the emotional impact and everything. I had something I really wanted to ask you, and it was gone from my mind. Never mind. So, what are you in a relationship now?
No.
I think you're not because I know Nick. And would you have one?
I would love one. But I also don't feel I'm the kind of person that I want to be. And I don't think I'm in a good position to attract the kind of partner I want.
That's what I always say too, not about you. That's always what I say about myself. And I think that's like, that. I think, honestly, to big ourselves up, that puts us in the top 1% already. Just being able to say that. Do you... If you haven't had that thought before, have it now, brother, because I think that's true. And I include men who are like in relationships.
I think there's a lot of merit to that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like my story I told you before, this is not a put down of anyone, but it's kind of the story of young men who get into relationships when they're young. You're not the man you're gonna be yet. So how can you become in that what is often codependent relationship that you formed when you were not yourself that you are now?
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of social obligation toward men. Like, you need to be this, this, and this to be a good partner.
There's a lot of social obligation to...
Yeah, so if you don't act a certain way,
Yeah.
provide a certain amount, and whatever else the list is that people have in their minds, then you're not a good man, you're not a good partner. But it doesn't seem to be that same obligation towards women, where if you're not meeting this list, it's more of a like, well, she's a woman, she's her own person, she can do whatever she wants.
I hear that, but should we put some of that responsibility on, not on the women, but on the men who are not asking of it? Because I put it out, men are too desperate for sex.
Yes,
So when it gets offered to us, we ignore the other things that we might like from a relationship.
Yeah,
and
I think women get taught from a young age what they should want from a relationship. And men are taught from a young age to provide that. But no one's teaching men what they should want from a relationship, and no one's teaching women to provide that.
Yeah, By the way, like provide that to Matt. You've said it both equally on both sides. You said something. There's something for men to provide to women. And you said there's something for women to provide to men as well.
Yeah.
And so it's not like, I don't think that you're saying like in a misogynistic way, like a sexist way.
No.
Yeah.
I think, I think there is a need for men to fulfill these requirements in order to be a good partner, plain and simple. I just also think that there is a need for women to provide what they need to provide in order to be a good partner. But there is no pressure on them to do that, and there's no obligation, and there's all these legal protections. So even if your partner, let's say you get married, and you're like, yeah, when you first met this girl, you're having sex all the time, she's doing all the right things, and you think this girl's great. And then as soon as you get married, she can stop. And there's no recourse for you. It's just like, well, now you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're stuck in this relationship, and if you want out, it's going to cost you everything.
Yeah. Okay. Here. That. What can men do? What responsibility can we take?
Wow. I mean, are you saying what do men need to provide?
Well, it's like
what action should we take?
So I hear what you're saying about like what the legal system, what the part that plays in what we're able to do. Because there's some stuff we don't have power over that. For example, if you want to get into a close, intimate relationship with a woman, you have to, doing that from the start, you have to accept some of the risks that you've got no control over. For example, if you split up, you might lose all your money. Yeah. Right. What can men do about, like, because you said what men need from a relationship, as well as what men should be providing if they should be offering to the relationship if they expect to have a good one. Yeah. What can they do? Like, for example, not be so desperate.
I mean, there's something that I've heard certain podcasters and stuff say, and one of the main things they've said is if you control your lust, you would be surprised how little most women offer in a relationship.
If you control your lust, okay.
Yeah. So, and I mean,
we got to get some women on this podcast soon, man, because I feel like I am, in fairness, agreeing with a lot with what you're saying, but maybe not in the horrible ways that people are creating in their minds at home. You just said because honestly, I see that too. I feel like a fucking asshole, but like
that's the programming. You've been programmed to think a certain way because of the education system, movies, TV shows. All this stuff has gotten into your head.
Okay, this is where I'm going to maybe accept a point of difference between you and me. And not so much a difference, but it's like a view. I'm staying out of blaming systems that I can't control. You know?
Oh, I'm definitely not. No, I'm gonna fight those systems as much as I can.
Okay. How do you fight? How do you fight them?
Well, it starts with the self. It's all about personal development, becoming the better version of yourself, empowering yourself, and then you can think about greater action on a larger scale.
That's where I'm like you, man. I'm like thinking about myself. What can I do? The greater action on a larger scale. I leave that to you. Can I leave that to you? Because I fucking hope. I don't have hope for changing.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I honestly think sometimes I should just flee the country and go somewhere where men get a fair chance.
I want to hear more about which country you'd go to and what you would do when you get there. But first, I like to do a kind of intro for guests in the middle. This is Nic the Farmer. I already mentioned, like, one thing that's great about our friendship is that we pretty much started stand-up comedy at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, coming up in stand-up comedy brothers, to me, that's really fun.
Yeah, it is.
And you're a farmer? Cow farmer?
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with that label myself because it's something like, I mean, I was raised on a farm, but I had a lot of allergies as a child. So it limited how much work I could do on the farm. And because of the very poor state of farming in Australia, from a young age, my dad pushed all of us away from farming because he said there's no future in it. And for the vast majority of my life, I've been like, you know what? He's right. There's no future in farming in Australia. And I think it's all going to become giant corporate business farming instead of family farming and small businesses. So yeah, I mean, I haven't been heavily involved in farming for the vast majority of my life. And it's only in the last couple of years that I've become a lot more involved in farming because I found a way to get rid of my allergies, which was switching to the carnivore diet.
All right. Someone else told me about carnivore diet, and it sounded crazy because I think that you need to get vegetables in order for your digestive system to work properly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we've been raised on. That's the sort of information we've been given from a young age. But I tell you what, I think it's a load of shit.
So you only eat meat?
Meat, eggs, raw dairy if I can get it, organs.
What? What are you eating organ? Like, why? Just eat the muscle. Why do you need to eat all that other stuff?
Like liver?
Guts? Yeah, what do you need to eat that for? Yuck.
Man, it is the ultimate.
Why?
If you eat, like I eat raw liver.
That's gross, man. Of a cow?
Yeah,
Yeah, where'd you get that from?
from our cows.
Fuck. I thought excuse my language. Are you a dairy farmer?
No, beef cattle.
Oh, okay. I thought you were a dairy farmer.
No,
So
no, beef.
And then, so do you butcher them? I'm sorry if this is distressing talking about butchering
I'm
animals
not.
to anyone. He's not.
We're animals that eat animals.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
So
And actually, one moment.
Yeah.
Fiona, if you are still listening,
don't say anything.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're gonna. I thought I was gonna have to bleep something out.
Not yet. Maybe later.
Do you butcher the cows on the farm?
Yes.
Do you use that, no country from old man thing where he sticks it to the side of the head and click? No.
No.
How do you?
With a rifle.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. Shoot it, lift it up with the tractor, skin it, gut it, quarter it, stick it in the cool room for a couple of weeks, and then butcher it.
You're really doing it. You live in that is how people have to get food. That is how humans had to get food until basically people we'll all lose perspective of this, how quickly technology has progressed in relation to the scale of evolution. It's basically 2 seconds ago. Since 2 seconds ago, we were all not just having to do this, but having to hit them with a spear first and then cut them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think...
But don't eat the liver, man. Fuck.
Dude, it is super fuel. It is like food is fuel.
What does
Plain
it
and
taste
simple.
like?
Well, I mean, it tastes like beef. It's really the texture that is kind of unpleasant.
Yeah, that's what I don't want, man. I fucking hate.
I mean, there's a bit of a taste to it, which I can understand why people don't like it. But I say suck it up.
Do you suck up the kidneys?
I have done.
Oh, it tastes like piss, man.
Well, clean them.
Yuck. Literally the piss maker.
I mean, I've eaten intestine.
You clean them
heart.
out. You clean it out. So can you clean the kidney out? Hang on, before you get to that. Do you like pump water through it to like clean the pissy stuff out of it or something?
Yeah. Just soak it in water and like give it a bit of a squeeze. And look, it's not
like a sponge.
It's not nice, but people have to realize that eating animals isn't nice. We are animals that eat animals. Our ancestors were monsters, and they would eat us alive if they saw us.
Monsters? Like what kind of monsters? Do you mean like killers?
If you go back, no, I'm talking about literal monsters. If you go back far enough in our history, the ape-like creatures that we were.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you see it online. You can see videos of
like chimps, like the stuff chimps will do.
Chimps will eat a monkey while it's screaming.
Oh, chimps will eat chips. I wish they will rip your balls off and eat them. They'll bite your.
I've seen videos of
dick off.
monkeys getting eaten by a chimp,
Yeah.
and they're screaming in agony.
Shit.
And that's where we come from. That's the sort of animal we used to be.
Yeah.
And before that, we were reptilian. And do you think we were nice when we were reptiles? Hell no.
Well, like those lizard people in that movie, Land of the Lost. You seen that with Will Ferrell? Love that movie. Anyway, I'm
I
just.
have seen that. I don't remember lizard people, but I don't really remember the movie. So,
Will Ferrell is so funny.
but yeah,
So
I mean, if you look at like the history of all of life, you know, we all started in the ocean, and we became fish essentially, and then we crawled out of the water and became reptiles, and then we became mammals, and then we became apes, and then
We got married.
yeah, that fucked everything.
Do you think humans are supposed to get married?
That's an interesting question, and it's sort of a yes and no situation. I think biologically, no, but spiritually, yes.
What does that mean?
I think particularly men, and I know this is going to sound sexist, but I don't care. Biologically, we are programmed to spread our seed. We are sperm factories, and our evolutionary survival tactic is to have as many kids as possible with as many partners as possible. That's how we are biologically and evolutionarily programmed, which was fine when we were apes. But now that we are more evolved, I think spiritually and for personal development, I think we are far better off with one good partner and maintaining that family unit. I think that is the best way for us to go forward, and the best scenario for the children, and the best scenario for the women.
Do you want that for you?
Yes.
Huh. How you? So you said this already. So, and you are getting that by increasing your value first.
Well, that is the plan.
You know what? I think that plan sucks.
Yeah.
And
Life sucks,
I
man.
say that. No. Like I'm being real, but trying to make it into a joke. But because I'm doing that too, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing that too. I think that plan for getting into a long-term committed relationship, that plan sucks and it doesn't work. Because, and I'm just realizing this in this moment, just trying to be a little bit playful and honest with myself too, because what desperation and willingness to give, I'm going to say women, but the relationship, what it wants, gets into a long-term relationship. Men loving them, oh, this is going to sound hard. Men loving themselves and working on themselves and their projects and not being obsessed with lust. I don't think that leads to long-term committed relation. I'm not saying isn't that. I think if I was going to have a relationship, that's the kind of man I want to be in a relationship. But I don't see this taking me closer to getting a relationship because I only love myself more and need a relationship less. And also, this is going to sound really mean and judgy, but I'm not even going to say that. But like,
Go on, go on, be brave. Say
I'm
it.
like, look, I'm hardly Brad Pitt. I'm a weird, so I'm not handsome, and I'm a weird guy, and
Agreed.
right. So, but I don't often. I would love. I am waiting to meet someone. Also,
Yeah.
I will love that. And sometimes I meet, not someone. Often I meet very beautiful, lovely women who are not interested in me at all because they don't think I'm good enough for them or do something. But I don't feel like working on myself is taking me closer to getting into a long-term relationship, but further away.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. And I mean, there's a whole list of reasons why that could be happening. It could be that you're focusing on the wrong things, or you've got.
What are you talking about? Where I'm focusing on the wrong things. Like what?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you're living your life.
No, come on. Like, I'm not sensitive. I want to hear. This is fun. Like,
No. I mean, I would tell you if I knew. I'm just saying, like, it could be that you've got poorly defined goals, or
like what? This is getting worse. You said you weren't gonna go. Like,
well,
I
I don't
you weren't gonna
know.
dig at me.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, the way I was.
You know me a
taught
little
this
bit.
stuff-
Just pick something. Like, it's not gonna hurt it might hurt my feelings. Come on, like, just
Well, I mean, what are your goals? Are they clearly defined, achievable?
yes,
And is there a pathway to that?
yes.
Okay, well, that's a good
But none
start.
of them have to do with like, my end goal being in. They're all to do with me and my value and my self worth, and they're not.
Well,
to
that
do
sounds
with,
good.
Yeah.
Because the
This is
more
what
you
I
raise
me-
your own
This is what I
self-worth,
me-
is the more you're going to attract a quality partner.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, but specifically the goals are around, like, if I wanted to get into a relationship, I could get into one.
Yeah.
But because, like, materialistically, my goals are like this podcast or my stand-up comedy, or like saving a little bit of money to spend on podcasts and stand-up comedy, basically,
Yeah.
right? None of it is like, how am I going to get the next date? And how am I going to, how am I going to make that woman like me when I go on it? Do you know what I'm not actually taking those steps explicitly. It's all me working on my self-worth, which takes time and my energy away from pursuing, like, building a relationship with a woman. Not that it's something I don't want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's a matter of perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah, because where I am in life, and I suspect where you are in life, we are at that stage where we should be at this point in our early 20s. We should be building something, building ourselves, and generally unwanted by women because we are in the process. We are not at that point where we're like, oh, I can provide what I want to provide. And I am the person that I want to be at this point in my life. So if we're not there, and that's how we see ourselves, that's pretty much how women are going to see us too. They're like, oh, well, you're in your 40s and you're trying to build, and you're at the low level at the beginning stages.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because you and I both could provide. It's about perspective on yourself, I think. Because you can provide I can provide for, like, I have more value now than I have when I got married or been in long-term relationship in the past.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But
Like,
I mean, you
people-
saved up $1 million,
guys,
so you
Yeah,
were
I
at a
had
higher level back
I had
then.
nothing when I got together with my wife back then.
Yeah.
So,
But you managed to build up. And that's the sort of level you should be at now. But you got divorced, you lost everything, and then you've had to start again.
okay, I understand what you're saying. So you think that it's because I'm in this growth phase, and that when I have $1 million and I'm rich and famous, then I will get the relationship I want?
I mean,
You know that most people get the long-term... This has come back to what I was trying to say before. Most people that get into long-term serious relationship is when they have nothing and they're desperate. And they meet a lady who wants to grow with them, I think.
I think that's a
Not-
very romantic view on what relationships are.
I think that's what most people do.
I think...
Young guys aren't rich or have fancy jobs, and they marry the young girls marry them.
How
They don't
often
they
does
don't
that
go. They don't hook up with us
how often does that really happen though? I mean,
all
if
the
you think
time. I think that's everyone's
these
marriage.
young guys, they either have something like a good stable job, or they demonstrate potential.
Yeah,
And
but
it's okay for a guy to be 22 and demonstrate potential because the women will find that attractive. They're like, oh, okay, he's got potential. He's got the potential to be provide a secure future and be a provider. But I mean, if you're in your 40s and you're showing potential, women are going to be like, well, dude, that potential, it should have been realized by now. So if you haven't really realized your potential by the time you're in your 40s, of course women are going to look at you and go, no, dude, I don't want to date a guy who's at the same level as a 22-year-old.
I don't think it's that. Don't you think? Because did you not have potential when you were 21?
I mean, we all had potential, but I wasn't very good at demonstrating potential, and I was very lost as far as where I wanted to go in life, what path I was going to choose. It's not like I had a trade that I was working on and building myself into something. So, no, I don't think I had a lot of potential shown. And yeah, I was lost.
Well, that is a favorite word of the podcast. Very vulnerable. That is very vulnerable to say. That is like fucking super vulnerable to say, man. Thank you. What's the story then of you from then to here? How old are you now?
I just turned 43.
Congratulations, you're old. You're an old man like me.
Yeah.
How do you feel being 43?
I don't give a shit.
Where's all your fucking wrinkles, man? This is emotionally difficult for me to look at myself on the video so much because you guys see all these wrinkles. I just have to call them out because every time I do, it's an emotional process. There's a lot of meth lines on here and jail. There's a bit of jail here. This is that divorce I talked about.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a Bill Burr bit. I'm not just like, where are your fucking wrinkles, man? You're 43. I'm only 3 years older than you. It's fucking the meth and the jail. Anyway, that's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't.
You look like 30.
Yeah, it's weird. When I was about 18, people thought I was like 25, and then
Did you have that beard?
no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I around my late teens, I looked like I was in my early 20s, and then yeah, it was like I didn't really age a lot in the face.
Yeah.
I guess, not becoming addicted to meth and going to Thai prison probably helped, and not getting divorced probably helped. But yeah, I think, there's nothing overly I mean, I do make my own skin cream.
Oh, I want it. Oh, fuck, no, I don't. I just realized what it's made out of.
What?
It's going to be some fucking cow's penis or something.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's tallow and...
I don't even know what tallow is, man. I think it comes from like the cow's spleen or the appendix or something.
It's kidney fat.
Fuck, yeah,
So
I
it's
knew
fat.
it. I knew it.
It's
Do you
animal
get to
fat.
take it out of your pocket? Do you have it?
I think there you go.
You make this
Yeah, I make
from what?
From
The kidney.
the kidney fat. I render the kidney fat.
Smells like piss.
My mother rendered it. And then I combine it with organic coconut oil. And
Can I use it?
Yeah, I bought that one for you.
Thank you.
And I've got zinc in it. And there's also some...
It's for the face, right?
yeah.
You need to tell me afterwards it's like for jerking off with or something.
No, you'd need a much bigger container for that.
Nah, I wouldn't. My dick's tiny. I'm just enough.
And then there's some like
I put too much on. Yeah.
native plants that I collect the bark and extract some stuff from it, and yeah, so all natural ingredients, and
Oh. Did you say this is for me?
yeah.
I will use it. Thank you.
So yeah, the masculine man, he eats meat and makes skin cream.
Well, this is what I found interesting. This is why I really want to talk about this topic with you, because it's apparent contradiction, because you get stuff like the face cream, your interpersonal development, you're smart, but you also are like a traditionally masculine as well.
Well, it's something that I have struggled with in my life,
What?
being masculine. So this is something that it's become like a main focus of me, because the less masculine I've been, the more I've suffered in life. So now it's been a conscious effort to make myself a better man, and the only way to be a good man, in my opinion, is to be a masculine man.
Yeah, I think that's just is true.
Yeah, and this is something that I have formulated an opinion on over the last few years by going to like sound healing and breath work and meditation and speaking with I like to call him my guru. He hates that title and he does not accept it at all. But he's a sound healer, and he has made incredible changes in his life. And I think through him I have learned a great deal about myself and about life and relationships. And it's just it has become very apparent to me that the more the world tries to feminize men, the more we have to rebel against that.
You're feminizing me a little bit with this face cream. What does feminizing men look like? If not this? By the way, I'm joking. I know it's like I've got 2 layers of moisturizer on, because this is the second one I put on today.
Well, now at least you got some dead animal on you, so
Yeah, so that mans it up a bit. I think the other one
exactly.
So, I really like this too, because it's saying we can be do the traditional masculine stuff as well, but also make ourselves look good. Put in the care, like, because do you know what? Well, I bought some face cream. I choose which male friends I tell about them, because I don't know. Sometimes I can't be bothered hearing like, "You're gay" jokes. It's like, do you know what I mean? Because fuck, like, what year is it? It's 2025, and I can't put face cream on without someone saying I'm gay.
Well, I would argue that if your friends don't occasionally call you gay, they're not really your friends.
Hang on, it's complicated. So, what else can men? What else can men do?
Well, our primary function is providing and protecting.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to create a secure environment, and that means financial security and safety as well.
Do women need protecting, and what from?
I mean, the world's nuts.
Like, what are you talking about? Nothing's happening. We in a podcast studio recording. No one's attacking us. No one's attacking women. Like, so what? What do
no
women
one's
need?
attacking women.
Yeah. Like, who?
Tell women that.
It's not in my world. So,
well, it's not in my world either, but I'm on a farm isolated from the world, but I can see what's happening.
So I don't try to provide the ability to protect a woman from being attacked. I think more of it as in, like you said, is spiritual. It's like if we happen to live in that world, I behave as though, no, I could do that for you, and then women are happy because no one wants to be attacked. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Well, they were okay. Well, I just think that yes, it's in our like masculinity and femininity. Femininity is in our biological roots. Men get energy from knowing they're in a role where they could protect and provide for a woman. Women get energy from having a man in their life that could have that role, even if it never happens, because it never happens. Do you know? Women can make their own stuff. Women can make their own money, you know?
Yeah, they can.
But sorry, I want to add to that. And men always do still give, and we do that because it gives us energy and it gives them energy as well. That's what I think. But the protecting is like, it's just like you could if you had to, and then everyone's cool.
Most guys don't know that though.
Well, most guys, I think, if it come up to it, like and we're all in a fight with each other, like, it's not going to be pretty, you know, because we're not all. Who's a kung fu master, right?
I know a couple.
Okay. Well, everyone else is going to be kicking their ass, like the 1,000 other guys who don't know kung fu. Do you know what I mean? I don't think.
Look, I think you're overcomplicating it. I think when it comes down to it, you got to remember that on average, women are much smaller. They have a lot less physical strength. On average, like, men are built much more for combat than women.
Yeah, but we don't need to do any combat. I think it's just the picture. Do you know? Okay.
Let me finish.
All right. Okay.
Imagine a woman, a small, average-sized woman, walking around the street. She's gone out for the night. She's had a couple of drinks, and she's walking from one bar to another. Mm-hmm. That is a much scarier scenario for her than it is for you and I.
Okay, that's a good point. Now I'm with you in your world. Yeah.
So just in that one scenario alone, she would feel a lot better. I mean, if the streets were safe, she would feel a lot better. But let's face it, that's not reality. Reality is she would feel a lot better if she had a strong, reliable, dangerous man who was with her and was looking after her. And so she could walk from one place to another knowing that, hey, if there is a drunk, sleazy dude somewhere between location A and location B, that guy that I've got standing next to me is like a pit bull, and he will tear that guy apart if necessary. And just the fact that he is there will make that drunk, sleazy guy shut his goddamn mouth. You know, look at her and then look at him and just go, nope, not going to say anything.
So do you want to be that?
The pit bull?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you that?
Nowhere near what I want to be.
Should everyone be that?
Every man, ideally, yes.
Then what's the point? Doesn't it all cancel out?
No.
Why not?
Because you're never going to have everyone be that way. And there's different levels to it. I mean, you look at some guys, they're like just big, monstrous dudes. They're just genetically, they are just huge. And there's nothing a guy that's like 5'7" or whatever the hell I am, is going to do against a guy that's like 6'5" and huge. And so, you know, within reason, I want to be like enough of a threat so that guys go, you know what, it's not worth it. This guy might be smaller, but it's going to hurt.
How many women are able to hook up with these gorilla guys that you're talking about?
I mean, that's the majority of what women go for. They want the pit bull. They might not say it.
That's what women go for?
Absolutely.
But I always see women like with skinny guys and like guys wearing tracksuits around the house and like
tracksuit around the house. I'm not sure I get that reference.
I'm not saying women in relationship with gorillas. I'm saying women in relationships with average Joes.
All right. Well, I would question like who these women are. Like what level of attractiveness have they got? And I would also say that a lot of these choices that women make are made out of fear. So if they're scared of having a partner who is big and scary and all the rest of it, they're going to go for a weaker partner so they feel safe in the relationship. But long term, they won't feel safe, as in protected by the relationship.
Okay. That's a big topic. So
It is.
what's your, we're gonna have to wrap it up in a minute. What's
Okay.
what's your current focus for yourself at the moment?
Discipline.
Discipline. What's that?
It just means that I think discipline is the most desirable trait anyone can have, and it manifests differently in men and in women. And for men, I think it's about being capable and doing what you need to do, even when you don't want to do it.
Doing what you need to do, even when you don't want to do it.
Yeah, like this morning, my alarm went off at like, I don't know, what was it, 4:45? As it does every Monday. I got up, got dressed, went down to the beach. It's cold, it's dark, the waves are hitting. I go out to the end of the smaller jetties in Bustleton, and I jumped in the ocean. And it's scary because it's dark. You can't see what's going on in the water. There's no nets up.
Mm-hmm.
There could be anything in there.
Stingrays.
Stingrays, sharks, who
Sharks.
knows? And I jumped in the ocean, and it was cold.
Any sharks fucked with you, man. Cut them. You'll be eating the livers, the kidneys, the spleens. You're making them into a face cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Hooking them up by that truck trailer you talked about. Phew. Man, are you going to be performing at the Prince of Wales?
Yeah, I've signed up. I'm ready.
Yes.
Well,
me too.
I'm going to expand on what I did at New Lyric. I'm pretty happy with how that set went, but I've got a lot more to add to it. So
Yeah, you guys are good. Nick's really funny, guys. If you want to see Nick and me, come to the Prince of Wales 13th of June. That's in about a couple of weeks. And we will see you there. Thanks so much for coming on.
my pleasure.
Real talk. See you next time.
All right.
Bye.